So we've known for some time that things aren't great between Meghan Markle and her own mother, Doria Ragland. She has been completely miserable in the last couple of public appearances that the fake Duchess forced on her. First on her Netflix series with Hi.
Did you see that her mother actually looked very bad-tempered, as if she didn't?
Yeah, so grumpy. She sort of strolled in and
strolled in.
Good
she
point.
Didn't cuddle her daughter. She didn't go up to Harry to say a few words. She didn't want to be there, and the question is why.
What did you make of that, Sydney twins?
Okay, picture this. The one person who's always stayed quiet suddenly decides to speak up, and guess who it's about? None other than Meghan Markle herself. For years, Doria Ragland, Meghan's mom, has been seen as her rock, the woman who stood firm while the world picked Meghan apart piece by piece. She was Meghan's safe place, her one constant in the chaos of fame and royal drama. But now, oh honey, Doria has dropped a bombshell, and it's sending shockwaves through Meghan's carefully built image. We're talking DNA revelations, family secrets, and identity claims that might not be what they seem. It's wild. Like the ground beneath Meghan's Who I Am story is starting to shake. And trust me, you're not ready for how deep this rabbit hole goes. Stick around till the end, because this twist might just flip everything we thought we knew about Meghan Markle upside down.
Said to her, I remember this very clearly, that this is about race. This is what's coming down the pipe.
Now, I knew things were getting pretty stark, but now it has emerged that the strain is so bad that Doria Ragland has said enough is enough. I'm moving out of Montecito for good. And it's pretty brutal, actually.
The passion fruit comes out.
It's good without too.
It's really good without. Because once you get to the bottom, it tastes all the banana. Is that your look of joy? I was like, and?
I'm muted.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm telling you when I'm
Believe
done.
me.
The one thing I don't quite believe in is that she feels that the family is in good condition now, because if anything it seems worse. And the fact that Meghan shouted, don't leave me, shows you that she is very desperate.
I mean, she's probably not getting paid the way she was getting paid 5 years ago to show up. That's my opinion. But she was asking weird questions like, oh, can I eat this? And then she said, she'd go, did you make this? And then she said, are those the greens from your garden? Are those the greens from?
Did you see that her mother actually looked very bad-tempered, as if she didn't?
Yeah, so grumpy. She sort of strolled in and
strolled in.
Good
She
point.
didn't cuddle her daughter. She didn't go up to Harry to say a few words. She didn't want to be there, and the question is why.
What did you make of that, Sydney
Her
twins?
paycheck is running out. I mean, she's probably not getting paid the way she was getting paid 5 years ago to show up. That's my opinion. But she was asking weird questions like, oh, can I eat this? And then she said, she'd go, did you make this? And then she said, are those the greens from your garden? Are those the greens from? Like, she would ask questions that was weird. Probably she should have known already.
Yeah.
Right, because she was on a set. She was on a set, and she had to be told everything because she didn't know, right? It wasn't like he's with her in her home doing these things naturally to actually know the answers.
Right.
No, she had to ask because it's a set.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, poor Harry. I can't help but wonder, and this is my opinion, I wonder if he ever asks himself or confronts how he feels about being a springboard, whether it's this or other things. It seems like so much of even what she has been able to do with Netflix, using the royal title, without all of that, without him,
now.
what would she have?
Yeah, this is it now. I once was one of the heirs to the throne, a senior member of the royal family. I'm now a bit part player to try and keep this Netflix deal alive. It really is extraordinary.
You remember that image burned into everyone's minds. Doria Ragland sitting all alone at Meghan Markle's royal wedding, the woman in green, quiet and composed, the only member of Meghan's family in the pews while millions watched around the world. She sat there with that serene strength, silently representing her daughter's entire family. No drama, no interviews, no scandals, just quiet dignity. For years, that's who Doria was, the graceful backbone in Meghan's life. While Meghan faced one royal storm after another, Doria never spoke out, never fanned the flames. She was the calm in the middle of all that chaos, loyal, steady, unshakable. And that's why what's happening now has everyone gasping, because that same quiet, composed mother has finally decided to speak. And what she's saying? Oh, it's turning the internet upside down.
And it's pretty brutal, actually, because Radar Online have reported that Meghan Markle has now been abandoned by her mom after the Duchess gave.
In a twist that no one saw coming, Meghan's own mother is stepping into the spotlight, and she's questioning something Meghan once wore like a badge of honor. Yes, those famous DNA results, the 43% Nigerian claim that Meghan proudly told the whole world about.
I just had my genealogy done a couple years ago. What? What are you? 43% Nigerian.
No way! No, whoa, Jacqueline! Oh my gosh, are you really serious?
Yeah.
This is huge. Igbo, Yoruba, do we know?
So I mean, I'm going to start to dig deeper into all of this because anyone that I've told, especially Nigerian women, are just like, what?
This is huge for our community. No, honestly, you do look like a Nigerian. You look like my Aunt Uzo. So this is great.
Oh my goodness, Uzo.
Shout out.
And here's where it gets juicy. For years, whispers swirled through gossip circles. Rumors about Doria quietly moving out of Meghan and Harry's Montecito mansion. Whispers about secrets tucked neatly behind those Instagram perfect smiles. No one ever confirmed it. It was all speculation. Until now. Because when Doria finally broke her silence, it wasn't some casual comment. It was the spark that reignited a full-blown firestorm around Meghan's entire identity narrative. Let's not forget, Meghan had made her Nigerian heritage one of the cornerstones of her post-royal life. Back in 2022, she told the world through her podcast that a DNA test traced 43% of her roots to Nigeria. She said it was eye-opening, like she'd finally found the missing puzzle piece to who she really was. That moment wasn't just a fact, it was a movement. Meghan embraced it with passion, connecting to a culture she'd never known, declaring it proudly.
Now, let's talk about the Nigerian tour that's underway. Harry and Meghan, I don't know if this is a royal tour. They're not working royals. Are they? Well, they're not politicians or pop stars. What exactly are they doing touring Nigeria in the first place, Kinsey?
Allegedly, they're courting Nigeria for a future Invictus Games, but it's just all a bunch of PR, right? I mean, you've seen Meghan's dramatic wardrobe changes throughout it, her insisting that this is her country. Thank you for welcoming me to my country. Now, 43% of Nigerians are living below the poverty level. Another 25 are vulnerable to falling in that category. There are horrible stories that come out of Nigeria about, the mutilation of little girls, child brides, and abusive child labor. So they don't care about Harry and Meghan. They don't care what Meghan Markle's wearing.
And she didn't stop there. Oh no, Meghan went all in. She attended cultural events, spoke with heartfelt pride, and in 2024, she even flew to Nigeria for an official-looking visit that was splashed all over the media. Those photos, everywhere. Meghan beaming with locals, wrapped in beautiful traditional attire, partaking in ceremonies that looked like one of the most authentic, meaningful chapters in her journey since leaving royal life. The world saw it as Meghan reclaiming her roots, her identity, her story. But now, thanks to her mother's words, that story suddenly feels fragile.
You see that her mother actually looked very bad-tempered, as if she didn't.
Yes, so grumpy. She sort of strolled in and
strolled in.
Good
she
point.
She didn't cuddle her daughter. She didn't go up to Harry to say a few words. She didn't want to be there. And the question is why.
What did you make of that, Sydney Twins?
Her paycheck is running out. I mean, she's probably not getting paid the way she was getting paid 5 years ago to show up. That's my opinion. But she was asking weird questions like, oh, can I eat this? And then she said, and then she go, did you make this? And then she said, are those the greens from your garden? Are those the greens from, like, she would ask like questions that was weird. Probably she should have known already.
Yeah.
Right, because she was on a set. She was on a set, and she had to be told everything because she didn't know, right? It wasn't like he's with her in her home doing these things naturally to actually know the answers.
And while Meghan was front and center, fully embracing her newly discovered roots, one person remained unusually silent, Doria. even as she mingled with A-listers at charity galas, rubbing elbows with the Kardashians and making headlines of her own. She said nothing about her daughter's Nigerian heritage, not a word, until now. Her sudden change in tone has everyone asking, why now? Why speak up after all these years of keeping quiet? And more importantly, what does Doria know that Meghan doesn't want the world to know?
Oh my gosh, are you really serious?
Yeah.
This is huge. Ebo, you're about, do we know?
So I mean, I'm going to start to dig deeper into all this because anyone that I've told, especially Nigerian women, are just like, what?
This is huge for our community. No, honestly, you do look like a Nigerian. You look like my Aunt Uzo. So this is great.
Oh my goodness, Uzo.
Shout out.
Here's the thing about Ziwei. I found her to...
It all came to a head when Doria appeared on TV recently. Everything was calm until someone brought up Meghan's Nigerian heritage. And that's when jaws dropped. Instead of echoing Meghan's proud, polished story, Doria hesitated. She openly questioned where that 43% number even came from, and whether the test was as accurate as Meghan had claimed. And this wasn't some random critic or nosy journalist stirring the pot. This was her own mother, the woman who knows the family history better than anyone else, suddenly putting doubt into the world's mind. You could almost feel the internet explode. And sure enough, the reaction was instant. Fans went back through every old interview, every podcast clip, every little moment Meghan had spoken about her roots, this time watching with suspicion. Even though Doria didn't accuse Meghan of lying, that tiny sliver of doubt was enough. Once skepticism creeps in, it spreads like wildfire. And once that door's open, good luck closing it again. For years, Doria had been the voice of quiet dignity, the one who stayed above the chaos. For her to finally break that silence now, when Meghan's personal brand is so deeply tied to her Nigerian identity, it's seismic, because this isn't just about ancestry, this is about trust, authenticity, and whether the story Meghan's built her image around might not be as solid as it once seemed. So now, the big question hanging in the air, what's really going on here? Doria's statement didn't just cast doubt, it opened 3 possible doors that all lead to uncomfortable places. Option 1, maybe Meghan simply misunderstood those results. Option 2, maybe the DNA test itself wasn't as rock solid as she thought, or, and this is the one everyone's whispering about, there's some deeper family truth that's never seen the light of day, and honestly, any one of those possibilities could shake Meghan's carefully polished image right down to its core. Now here's where things get even juicier, because surprise, surprise, DNA tests aren't as final as people think. These ancestry sites update their databases constantly. The results can change over time as more people submit their samples. What shows up as 43% Nigerian one year could morph into something completely different the next. So maybe, just maybe, both women are technically right. But in the court of public opinion, nuance doesn't stand a chance. All anyone sees is a mother questioning her daughter's truth. And that hesitation, no matter how small, paints a very messy picture. Because when your own mom, the one person who's always had your back, plants a seed of doubt, that seed grows fast and wild. Suddenly it's Meghan versus her own narrative, and no amount of PR polish can erase the fact that her mother just cracked the image she's been building for years. Imagine being Meghan right now. It must feel like a punch straight to the heart. She's been fighting the world for years. Critics, tabloids, the palace, constantly questioned about her race, her identity, her place. And now, the doubts are coming from the one person she trusted the most. That's the kind of betrayal that doesn't just sting. It scars. Private family disagreements are one thing, but when they spill into the public, especially on something as sensitive as heritage, it becomes a worldwide spectacle. And honestly, this right here shows the difference between Meghan and her mother in the most brutal way. Meghan has always been open, expressive, modern. She wears her emotions on her sleeve, shares her story with the world, and uses every revelation to build a message. And yes, a brand. But Doria, she's old school, cautious, the think before you speak type. That was clear even back at Windsor Castle when she sat all alone at that royal wedding. 600 guests in the chapel, and she was the only one from Meghan's side. That image said everything. Quiet dignity on one side, fractured family ties on the other. And now, years later, it feels like that same divide has finally erupted into something none of us expected. Over time, every Markle family member has handled Meghan's fame in their own way. Thomas Markle, those staged paparazzi photos, Samantha and Thomas Jr., endless interviews, tell-all books, you name it. And now, after years of silence, even Doria has stepped out of the shadows. She didn't raise her voice, she didn't rant or attack. Her words were calm, but oh, did they thunder. Because sometimes quiet hits harder than shouting. Doria's comments didn't need to be loud. They were powerful because they clashed head-on with one of Meghan's most celebrated identity claims. And that's what makes everyone wonder. Was all that silence over the years true support? Or was it restraint, just waiting to snap? You can almost hear the tension through the screen. Not every family story matches the fairy tale version Meghan wants the world to hear. And the fact that Doria, the one person who's always seemed like her rock, is now contradicting her even subtly, is huge. It's like the ultimate mother-daughter plot twist. Love, loyalty, and quiet frustration colliding in front of millions. It's not just family drama anymore. It's a mirror reflecting the messy human side behind all that royal sparkle. It was supposed to be her moment of peace, of identity, of healing. But now, with Doria openly doubting that DNA test, it all feels like it's hanging by a thread. Because when your own mother doesn't fully stand behind your truth, what message does that send to the rest of the world? The timing couldn't have been worse. Meghan's entire post-royal identity, her podcast, her public image, her philanthropic branding, it all circles around authenticity, belonging, and heritage. Belonging, and now, the one person who once symbolized her unwavering support has quietly questioned it. That's the kind of wound that doesn't just fade away. Now imagine the heartbreak. The woman who once stood alone at Windsor Castle, embodying dignity and grace for the whole world to see, that same woman is now unintentionally undoing the very image her daughter built from the ground up. And that's what makes this so tragic. Because this isn't an enemy or a critic trying to tear Meghan down. This is family, and when family fractures like this, the scars last forever. Doria's gentle but piercing comments have turned the spotlight inward. Not on the palace, not on the media, but on Meghan's own truth. And people can't stop talking about it. They're asking, if Meghan's own mother questions her story, what else in that perfectly polished narrative might not be what it seems? That's where the gossip has exploded. Because this isn't about DNA anymore. It's about trust. It's about whether the people closest to you believe in the image you've created. And in that sense, this is the most dangerous scandal Meghan's ever faced. Because the moment family stops aligning with your public story, no PR team, no Netflix special, no podcast can fix it. Doria's transformation from silent supporter to subtle critic shows just how fragile celebrity identity really is. It's beautiful one minute and broken the next. And when the cameras turn inward, the truth always finds a way to spill out. The public loves a fairy tale, but they love a scandal even more. And then come the whispers, the viral clips floating online, the side comments reigniting old rumors, people revisiting moments like Kate Middleton kneeling to speak to children, while Meghan allegedly demanded a young girl bow to her, or those bizarre claims that Meghan's baby bump once looked too perfect, that maybe she wasn't even pregnant. True or not, these whispers pour gasoline on an already raging fire. And now everyone's wondering, if Doria's speaking now, will she stop? Because if she keeps peeling back those layers, the world might not be ready for what comes next. Family secrets, once they spill out, never stop rolling. And honestly, that's both fascinating and terrifying. Because this isn't just a Duchess scandal anymore. It's a human story about a mother and a daughter bound by love, but torn apart by truth. And no royal title or media spin can protect them from that. And there it is, the royal bombshell no one saw coming. Meghan Markle's image, once polished to perfection, is suddenly under fire. Not from tabloids, not from critics, but from her own mother. When the people closest to you start questioning your truth, the fallout is brutal. This isn't just about DNA, it's about trust, identity, and the cracks that appear when family truths clash with the story you've built for the world. And something tells me this is only the beginning. So keep your tea ready because this royal storm, it's far from over.